Howard's started out as a candy store in town in 1928. And of course, that was during Prohibition. And rumor has it that Fred Howard, who opened up Howard's, was selling liquor out the back door during Prohibition. And then in 1933, after Prohibition was lifted, he saw his success as selling booze out the back door, and opened up a bar, kind of restaurant. I think he had some hotel rooms and stuff like that in the place. But it started out across the street. Fred Howard was owner for at least 10, 15 years or so. He was a big backer of the BGSU football team. Apparently, football players would come in here all the time and hang out at Howard's when it was across the street, of course. And I think that's where the Freddie Falcon mascot came about. They named it after Fred Howard. It's past ownership, and then in 1973 it moved to its current location. The library bought the property back in 1973. It's been here ever since, and I'd say about that time is when it really music became its focus. We took over ownership of Howard's about 2 years ago. Howard's is unique, and we came in here, looked around, and we fell in love with the place too. And Steve, my business partner, he started playing here when he was 15 years old in some bands. I played here a couple times in bands in the past, but he's always had his eye on this place too. Howard's moved across the street here. You can kind of see how the layout of the bar is right now, and where the stage is. Apparently, the entire place was full of tables. Up on that stage, there were tables. It wasn't a stage for music, and they actually set a temporary stage up, from what I understand, over at the opposite end of the bar. A blues circuit called the Chitlin Circuit or the Chitlin Tour was an old blues tour so that blues circuit went between Cleveland and Chicago a lot in those major cities, and Bowling Green was the natural kind of like halfway point, and a lot of great blues musicians used to stop in here and play. So there were guys like J.B. Hutto played here, and Willie Dixon, and it's not confirmed, but I would say like there were other big names on that Chitlin circuit, which was like B.B. King and all those old time blues guys that were on that circuit. There were restaurants coming in, looking at buying the business from the owner, and they were going to gut the place. Howard's was going to be no more, and they were going to put an Italian restaurant in here. There's been rumors about that, and he fell in love with the place, and he did not want to see it go away. And that's when Steve and I stepped in. Apparently, if we didn't buy the place from him, he may have gone on to other options. Howard's may have been no more. We didn't want to change the way the place felt. We like the history of the place. It's been around here. It's the longest bar that I know of been in town here.
And the family environment that we have. It's so, we're so much a family. So many of us have been here for quite a while. I mean, not too many as a matter of fact, there's only one person that's been here longer than I have. But a lot of these people have been here for a long time, and even before they started working here, had hung out here. That's one of the best things about working here, really.
We've made a lot of upgrades to the stage, the sound, the lighting. That's our focus, is just to get people in here to see live music again. Joe, from what my understanding is, Joe just saw like this, he came in here and saw he was, I think he was a fan of like that kind of like gritty, live music, late night live music kind of show or something like that on TV, and he approached Steve about, I'd like to start filming in here some live music, and so we were like, yeah, go for it, it'd be great,
Notice Howard's. How can you miss it? It's got that huge sign. It's a place you can go, enjoy beer, play some pool, hear some live music, talk to people without any pretense or overpriced $12 cocktails. I saw Howard's was a great venue. I spoke with one of our editors, Chris Cleveland, about it. He was real dialed into the local music scene. And he told me about some great bands, and so I scheduled a time with Howards to come in and shoot it, and it was just that easy. About 4 months after I got here, the other two producers left, so it was just me for about 6 months. And during that time, I was very overloaded with work, and I had to lean hard on some of my students, and two of the guys that stepped up and helped me the most were John and Sal. And it was only because of those two that I was able to get through that period successfully, still pumping out great content and improving our existing shows. If it weren't for them, I never would have been able to do it. And so when we started doing Live at Howards, of course those guys were shooting, of course they were a part of it, and they seemed to have just a great passion for it. Sal's a drummer, John's a big music fan, and so they were each individually editing episodes for the series, and it seemed like I would come into an edit and maybe John would be sitting in with Sal and they'd be talking through some cut he had just done. They'd be working together so collaboratively, and it seemed to yield the best results that I talked with Megan, our post-production supervisor, and I suggested perhaps put them together. Just have them sit in all the edits together. One cuts, one produces, they can flip it, however best works for them. But when we put them together, I think it'll yield the best results. And sure enough, sitting them down together, they got so creative, they got so into it, and they really managed to pump out some incredibly edited episodes.
It was really, really special getting pulled in the office that day with John and being told that I was going to be one of the editors on it. Since I am an unconventional college student, I've been here since 2012 and didn't really know anybody when I came up here, so when I went to explore the town and kind of my new living situation, Howard's was one of the first places that I wandered into for a drink, and I walked in and automatically I was taken by it. To do a show on the actual bar featuring all these bands that are performing is really special.
From that day on, it turned into a passion project, but not just for us, but like for everyone. This project was such a collaborative kind of thing, and it really took the talents of many people, and I think that's why it turned out as well as it did, in my opinion. It wasn't just a few of us that tackled it on, it was everyone in the studio. So, I mean, it was a passion project from start to finish, and it was an honor to work on. It's like we're a part of history now, in a way. Howard's has been around since the 20s, I think, and being able to create this show and kind of document our time here, like hopefully someone else, another group of talented individuals will be able to carry on and continue to showcase Howard's.
I think he's done a fantastic job with the Live at Howard's. It looks amazing. I think it really captures the look and feel of Howard's and the live music that we have here.